A top national health official says he is hopeful parts of the country can be reopened by summer. CBS News reporter Natalie Brand is live at the White House with more on the federal response to the coronavirus crisis. Natalie?
And Liz, we did get a couple of new headlines out of tonight's White House press briefing. That includes the president saying that the administration is working on a proposal targeting the airline industry, teasing that more details will be coming soon. He also urged lawmakers to work together in a bipartisan way after senators hit an impasse earlier today.
The Senate will come to order.
Efforts to add an extra $250 billion to the small business relief program stalled in the Senate Thursday.
Do not block emergency aid you do not even oppose just because you want something more.
Congressional Democrats are demanding additional funding for hospitals and state and local governments, as well as fixes to the small business lending program.
It is clear that in hard-to-serve, underserved communities, they don't have the same access.
As lawmakers continue negotiations, the Federal Reserve announced it would provide up to $2.3 trillion in loans for businesses and state and local governments. In just the past 3 weeks, unemployment claims have totaled more than 16 million. There are reports some White House advisors would like to see the country reopen next month, but the president has said he will rely heavily on the advice of his health experts.
It is very likely that we will progress towards the steps towards normalization as we get to the end of this 30 days. We have to be prepared that when the infections start to rear their heads again, that we have in place a very aggressive and effective way to identify, isolate, contact trace.
White House coronavirus response coordinator Dr. Deborah Birx says more testing should be happening now, but the rapid test machines from Abbott labs in place across the country are not being run to their full capacity. And the White House the White House Coronavirus Task Force, said today that more than 2 million tests have been administered nationwide, that they're still working around the clock to try to really scale up this testing. And House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, in a new cable interview tonight, said this is really key to trying to reopen the country. She said the answer is 3 words: testing, testing, testing. Liz?
Yeah, everybody wants an answer as soon as possible, no question. I'm curious, what did the speaker say about negotiations and the impasse today?
Right. Well, she's really sticking to her guns, wants lawmakers to come back to the table and talk about the Democratic proposal, which in part would set aside some of the additional funding for small business relief to community-based institutions to try to get more funding to minority-owned businesses, farmers, and some of the other groups that have been struggling to get funding so far. We know that lawmakers and Treasury are trying to work out some of the continued glitches with this program, so hopefully discussions will continue behind the scenes. It has been difficult with lawmakers at home and not many of them at the Capitol, so we'll have to see if they can have a breakthrough in these talks ahead of Monday.